Shit gone. All right, y'all up in here? Y'all up in here? Let's see if this shit. Wait for these motherfuckers to get up in here. Yeah. Okay, y'all here? All right, let me see this shit. All right, there we go. Let's see this shit. Where my goddamn. All right, yeah. Can y'all hear me and shit? I got it on the joint. Can y'all hear me? What up? What was I saying? All right, cool. Let me talk. This nigga said it's at the hotel freezer. Nah, I'm in my garage. I'm in the man cave. I will show you my cars, but I don't want you seeing my license plates. It sounded big. See, I got this mic. It sounded a bit low. Cause I had my. I told you this that mic that I buy. I told you that when y'all be cash apping me, I be buying shit. This is like a $200 mic just to go on your computer, but it said I don't have the software. Is that a difference? Can y'all? I plugged it in, but I don't know if it's gonna work on this iPad yet. That work? Okay, it's better. All right, cool. It's working. Okay, the mic is working then. Okay, good. Nah, but I was saying about women, nigga, dudes set the tone in relationships. When it come down to the energy and all that shit, nigga, we set the tone. And if you with somebody where you can't set the tone, get the fuck away from them. It's better to do that shit than just be sitting around complaining about women all day. If you got one that you can't set the tone with, then fucking leave. It's more single women than single men, fellas. We got the numbers. Act like it. What else y'all talking about? Do I fuck with 80s classic rock? Yeah, I like that shit. Like that Journey, Aerosmith. I fucks with that. I fuck with Steely Dan. I love Steely Dan. Y'all keep telling me to have Dr. Short on my show. As if I haven't been thinking about that the last 2 months. If you saw the last time he was on, we had major technical difficulties. And he has difficulties just anyway when it comes to getting online on these different servers. Like, any guests that I have on my show, they come through Skype. The way my shit set up is set up through Skype. And Dr. Short, Skype is janky as hell. It don't really work. And I've sent him other links. He's created second, third, fourth, fifth accounts. Skype don't fuck with Dr. Randy Short. So I did just get Zoom, but I don't know if Zoom works with my interface. I got to find out if Zoom works with my interface, and I'll use Zoom. And if that works, then I can have Dr. Short on again. But if that Zoom interface don't work, I'm going to have to keep trying till we find something that does. But yes, I would love to have Dr. Randy Short back on my show. Judge Joe Brown, we talked a couple weeks ago. I got to have him back on. I didn't follow up. I've been busy as hell. I've been busy as hell, so I didn't follow up with Judge. But I will have Judge on soon. I will have Judge on soon. Fuck you niggas talking about. I would love to get Neely Fuller on, but tell me the last time you've seen Neely Fuller interview with anybody other than Carl Nelson. I would love to host Neely Fuller's program. Because I would like to listen to Neely Fuller more. I really can only listen to Neely Fuller when Carl Nelson's hosting. Because Mr. Bobby, I don't want to speak ill of the man because he's doing his best. But Neely Fuller, I remember one time I listened to someone called in on his show and asked him why he doesn't do other interviews. And this is like a couple years ago. I remember Neely Fuller saying that on his show that he had a contract with Talktainment, the place that he does his show through, that he can't really interview anybody else other than Carl Nelson. I don't know what that is, but the dude that hosts Neely Fuller's show, Mr. Bobby, oh God, that motherfucker horrible. Mr. Bobby when people read questions, when people email questions, he be reading the whole question. Susan from Detroit asks, Mr. Fuller, do you know what the weather is like in Transylvania? I'm like, Mr. Bobby, dog, just listen. Neely Fuller's on it's either Tuesday or Wednesday, one of them days. He's on every Tuesday or every Wednesday. It's one of them days he be on. Be pissing you off. How long does it take to build a strong comedy hour? It depends on the comic. Some comics, it take a whole year to get an hour. Some comics, some of these comics be having writers. Some comics take 6 months to get an hour. Neely Fuller be on YouTube. What's the name of the station? I can't think of the name of the station he be on. Yeah, COWS. Neely Fuller come on once a week. But Mr. Bobby, oh my God, it's too much. VOR radio. Or the hip hop cartoons are the shit. Yeah. Carlito Way. I'll listen to one of them cartoons right before I went live on here. What y'all talking about? What up, player? Oh, that's good your daughter to watch him. It's good. Them hip hop cartoons, that's some good shit to show kids. What's my preferred dose on a shroom trip? sometimes an eighth. Last time I did a shroom trip, I did 2/8 my last shroom trip. That's why I'm not doing any shrooms. I'm not doing any more shrooms for a little bit. I was like 2/8 is too much. Let me back off a little bit. Papers. I said I do not fuck with the UFC. I do not want to see two grown ass men ground and pound. You're right. That's some brutal shit for white folks to watch. Let them have it. I don't have to look. I don't have to like every little thing white folks throw my way. I never like UFC. I got friends that do. So I've gone to the pay-per-views a couple times. I tried it. Who the fuck is Usman? Yeah, good shrooms do taste like shit. That's why you gotta have that orange juice. Oh, you Usman, a UFC fighter. Okay, y'all talking about that. I'm like, Usman, I'm like, what? Is he a welterweight? I'm thinking boxing. Like, I don't know Usman in boxing. What y'all talking about? But a Nigerian fighter? See, that's another thing in UFC. Them niggas tight. Them niggas pants too tight. Boxing shorts is baggy. And niggas got a distance. It's respectable. UFC fighters dress like hoochies. Like early 90s hoochies. Yeah, I remember like that was the word in 91. When a woman would be had on them tight spandex biker shorts in 89. Back in 1989, they called them hoochies back in 1989. That's how UFC fighters dress. They dress like hoochies. Tight ass tights and wrestling and touching each other. That shit weak. Coochie cutters, yep. That's right, Goldie. Yeah, mushrooms do grow in shit. I don't care because when it's blast off on them shrooms, it's blast off. Terrence Crawford don't want that fight with Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford be capping like a motherfucker. Errol Spence offered Terrence Crawford 60-40. That's a fair deal. Terrence Crawford hasn't done anything at 147, nigga. You dominated 140, not 147. First of all. Second of all, 2 Terrence Crawford pay-per-views didn't outsell one Errol Spence pay-per-view. The Amir Khan pay-per-view and the other motherfucker he fought, both pay-per-views total 153,000 buys between the two. Errol Spence versus Garcia alone was 325,000 pay-per-views. So the money's for Errol Spence. And when it comes to boxing money, the side that sells the most tickets gets usually a 70-30 split. Spence has been fair offering Terrence Crawford 60-40. And Terrence Crawford talks about I deserve 50-50. Nigga, don't nobody watch you, nigga. Y'all asking if Rock Newman's still alive? I don't know. I like that Rock Newman show, man. Rock Newman gives dope interviews. And he was he was Riddick Bowe's trainer. What y'all talking about? Let's see. What's y'all talking about? Let's see. Yeah, I thought Rock Newman was white too. But then I was like, nah. He was one of these Louisiana slick niggas. One of them ponytail niggas. Rock Newman used to have that ponytail back in the day. Brazil wants $1 billion from the U.S. Now I haven't heard of that. They want $1 million for what? Well, the United States owe motherfuckers way more than that, but I live here, so shit. Fuck them. They owe black people reparations first. Brazil, you're going to have to wait. The United States has internal debts. It's old. Hey, which reminds me, y'all, I got my new t-shirts on my website. Reparations now. I got one with the fist and the money in it. Another one pointing. I also got the reparations now. I got the reparations now snapback hats. Niggas be, let's see. Tyson Fury did cheat in that fight. This nigga Deontay Wilder, just look at the side of his head when going into the fight and look at the side of his head after the fight. The nigga got a dent in his head in the middle of the fight by a motherfucker who was known for never knocking nobody out. Tyson Fury has a reparation of pillow fist. And now all of a sudden you got a dent in a nigga's skull. He had egg weights. Go look it up on Boxing Ego's channel or on Fred's channel, Barbershop Conversations. They talk about all that shit. Mark Breeden probably spiked his water. I thought it was real weird that Mark Breeden was over there in the UK with Tyson Fury's people a couple months ago. Deontay Wilder got cheated. What else y'all talk about? I'm about to get out of here. Y'all ain't talking no more. Niggas going to sleep. See, he said he got his ass whooped. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry you don't pay attention to details. How about that? You get your ass whooped too if a motherfucker got loaded gloves. You get your ass whooped too if the man is sliding his white glove in and out and you're getting hit with bare knuckles. Do you know that Tyson Fury used to be a bare knuckle fighter? This motherfucker Tyson was sliding his gloves in and out and hitting Deontay Wilder with bare knuckle. You get your ass beat too if you're getting bare knuckle with one fist and an egg weight with a different fist. I'm sorry, he just lost. Yeah? Why though? Why? I always ask why. If you're not willing to ask why, then you're being sorry. I'm not saying you're a sorry individual. You're just being sorry in that moment. Still a good person. But it's a moment of weakness. It's a moment. Gotta always ask why. And I'll be sounding crazy to a lot of people. But I be thinking like, who do I sound crazy to? I sound crazy to people who don't ask why. So I don't mind sounding crazy to them. I never heard of One Glove Jimerson. But think about that. I don't mind sounding crazy to people who don't ask questions. I like to ask questions. And then when I ask those questions, when I heard Tyson Fury's defense, the defense is, oh, he's crazy. When I see the evidence is, okay, Deontay Wilder after the fight went to the doctor, and the doctor medical report said he got hit with something consistent with an egg weight. Then I hear a former sparring partner for Tyson Fury going on barbershop conversations, going on what's the other channel? That motherfucker from Thailand. What's his name? Dante's Boxing Nation is saying, yo, I was in Tyson Fury's camp and I was getting hit with egg weights. And I saw that he took the padding out of his glove. And he talked about leaving Tyson Fury's camp because he took the padding out of his glove. And then last March 2020, I hear the dude that Tyson Fury said that he ate meat and he tested for drugs. He said he ate bad meat. Well, the farmer who wrote that affidavit came out and said Tyson Fury promised me 60,000, but didn't pay me the whole 60 G's. So no, I didn't give him no bad meat. Then I see that Tyson Fury is with that Kenner dude. Kenner's the biggest mafia motherfucker in Europe, who's been known to pay judges and pay referees. And I see Mark Breeden with that same Kenner dude just a couple months ago. David Kenner. Look up David Kenner. There's a documentary on Kenner on the BBC. It's on YouTube. Look it up. And they break down a lot of the underhanded shit he did on behalf of Tyson Fury in boxing. Because it's in a boxing documentary. It's about his drug ties, his mafia ties. And then I combine that with the fact that Tyson Fury, when they said that when he was getting his gloves wrapped, they asked Mauricio Suleiman. See, I know boxing very well, nigga. Don't play with me when it comes to this sport. Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, was on record saying, we were there when Tyson Fury got his gloves wrapped. So when we cut to the camera, not only was when the camera was around, Mauricio Suleiman wasn't in the room, they cut the fucking camera off right before he got the shit wrapped. Check my Instagram. I was at the first Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight. It was me, Craig, and Big John. We were like on the 15th row. We had like good ass seats. We were like 15 rows from the ring. Me, Craig, and Big John. I was there, nigga. The first fight, Staples Center. When Deontay Wilder knocked him out. When that fucking Jack Reese gave him 11 seconds to give up. I was at that fight when Tyson Fury got knocked out. Jack Reese was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nigga was done. Fight should have been over. Deontay Wilder got cheated. Twice. Deontay Wilder got cheated twice. Real talk, Wayne Peacock. They didn't want Wilder to have that belt because of the way he talked. That's it. He came out. I remember sitting ringside watching him walk down to the ring with that gold mask on. See, on TV it looked one way, but if you was in Staples Center that night, the way the lights was shining down on that mask, that nigga looked like Mansa Musa's coming up in this motherfucker. I was like, salute to the God. It made you. I was proud when Deontay Wilder walked down to the ring looking like a black god. They ain't like that. So Deontay Wilder deserves me to take a deeper look when I see all that evidence against Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury's only defense is, oh, he crazy. Deontay Wilder's earned my respect to give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation because he speaks up for black people unapologetically. He don't say this is gonna mess with my money. He do it anyway. So he earns my benefit of the doubt. You dig? What else y'all talking about? I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. Let me see anything else in this chat. Damn, chat keep disappearing on me. Somebody asked how did we come together. Hell, me, Craig, and Jade met at the Comedy Union. We was all starting comedy at the same time. And we all just happened to meet at that, me starting comedy there. Me, Craig, Daphne Springs. To hear more, he started comedy a little before us, but he was at that open mic a lot. London Brown from that show, Ballers. He was the first one to break out because he got on tour with Chris Tucker. That dude, Stephen J, that was on 5150 a couple months ago, he was in that class. It was more of us in that class, too. Well, we all started comedy at the same time. That's how we met. We all started comedy at the same time. And then I ended up taking over that room and hosting that room. So anytime Jade, Big Jai, or Craig needed a night to get on the stage, they come down to my room. How do I balance pro-black and funny on stage? When you're on stage doing comedy, you got to be funny. People don't come to hear you talk. They come to laugh. So you got to make these motherfuckers laugh. So you got to have laughter always wins out on the comedy stage. But every joke ain't got to be pro-black. Some shit is going to be funny. All you got to do is just make sure you don't sell your people out. All I got to do is make sure on stage, I'll be pro-black by not making jokes that make black people lose. You know how them comics be doing them jokes. Man, white people got good credit. Black people credit ain't shit. I don't say that shit. I don't say them bullshit coon jokes about how black people fucked up. Black people ain't got enough credit. I gotta put it in my mama name. I don't know. In all of my jokes, I make black people look good, but I'm not doing it overtly. I'll tell jokes about our culture, but I'll talk about the good side of it. You know what I mean? You can take the good or the bad at anything, but so yeah, that's how I make. And I do got some very militant pro-black jokes, but that's not my whole set because people come to laugh. They come to laugh when I'm doing comedy. You about to fucking laugh. Do I mix shrooms and cannabis? Yes. Weed and shrooms go together like peanut butter and jelly, nigga. Yes. Smoke a lot of weed with shrooms. Shit, one time I smoked. The last time I did shrooms, I smoked about 10 grams that day, that night that I was on shrooms. So I smoked a good 10 grams. Usually I smoke a quarter when I'm on shrooms. The last time I smoked a good 10 grams. But I ain't taking no shrooms for like a month. I need a break. You're right, Wayne Peacock, 90s comics. You're right, Jeannie. Yeah, star Jeannie Yashir. She do them whack-ass jokes. I don't fuck with Jeannie Yashir. Jeannie Yashir did my show, too. When I hosted at the Comedy Union, that's the beautiful thing about L.A. Chris Tucker did the show. My first time ever bombing was when Chris Tucker and George Wallace walked in. My first time ever bombing on stage. Chris Tucker, I'd only been doing comedy for 6 months. Chris Tucker and George Wallace walked in, and I was like, and nigga, I just threw my whole everything off. My whole stilo, everything was just off. It was the first time I ever bombed on stage. Well, I can't say it's bomb because motherfuckers was laughing before they walked in. But when they walked in, I just nervous. But Sherry Shepard did my show. Jeannie Yashir used to come down and do my show at the Comedy Union. That white boy, what's his name? He the funniest white dude out there right now. I'm drawing his blank with the red hair. What's that white comic? The white, not Gary Oldman whack ass, no. The white comic, Bill Burr. Bill Burr used to come down and do my show. Yeah, but this is all like when Big John, Craig. Somebody said I'm dating myself. So, I think it's a beautiful thing to live long. I'm not even 40 yet. I'm about to turn 40. But I would love to one day say I'm 88 years old. My grandfather is 97 years old, just turned 97. And he can still tell me about when he moved to LA in 1937 and how the streets of LA looked with streetcars and before freeways in 87. I think that's some dope shit. I think age is a beautiful thing. I think people need to accept it. I was with my mom and my dad today. So much fun. Neither of them 70 yet. My mom was just talking about how she appreciates how she can look in the mirror and see that she's definitely aged in the last 5 years. And how she thinks that's cool. And I thought that was so dope to hear my mom say that. Because my mom was like, look, I'm 62, so what? Shit, what it do? My dad still got red hair. I ain't got no hair. My dad ain't even got gray hair. My dad's hair is still red. Y'all see pictures of my parents. If you go on my Instagram, I put some pictures up. I put some of my pictures up of my parents today on Instagram. My mom and my dad, and my sister, my brother, and my nieces. My niece Madison is 5'11", and she's only 11. She's about to turn 12. Madison is about to turn 12, and she's 5'11". But my niece got that ball blood in her. My niece got that ball blood in her. You know, like Lonzo and LaMelo Ball. That's my niece's uncle. My sister is married to LeVar Ball's oldest brother. Why don't I ever talk about this? Because it's irrelevant. I don't talk to the Ball brothers like that. I don't talk to LaMelo and Lonzo. So it'd be very corny of me to be like, man, yeah. I used to coach against them. That's what, if you do hear me talk about the Bar Brothers, it's gonna be from the times I've had to coach against them, because those are real life stories. That those are my interactions with Lonzo and Melo, is having to game plan against them with my AAU squad against their AAU squad. But yeah, if you look up, if you see my pictures, you see my brother-in-law Anderson. If you go on my Instagram, that's LeVar Ball's big brother. And my niece, because all them Ball brothers is big. My sister's wedding, and my sister got pictures of her wedding up on her Facebook. You see me next to all them Ball brothers, nigga. I look like I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2", and I look like a child next to them niggas. LeVar like 6'7". One of the other brothers is like 6'8". Ren is 6'7". Anderson is 6'5". All in Anderson's the shortest one, and he's like 6'5" and a half, 6'6". Now my niece is 5'11". I love my niece Madison. That's my baby. And Layla. Those are my babies. I'll be so proud to see them every time I see them. My niece Kiara, that's my brother's baby. My niece Kiara about to be 17. Shit. Love that girl. What y'all talking about in here? Somebody said Lonzo soft as baby shit. No, you soft as baby shit. That nigga Lonzo balling this season. That nigga Lonzo, I'm so proud of that motherfucker. His shot been wet. He been one of the league leaders in three-point shooting percentage. All them things people were talking about he couldn't do, they quiet now. That nigga setting up Zion. Lonzo about to get paid. There was a lot of teams trying to make trades for him this past offseason. Quiet as kept, Lonzo is about to get paid. That nigga been balling. I'm proud to see that motherfucker balling. Chuba, you asked, what was my game plan? Look, man, when I had to coach against the Bar Brothers, that motherfucker LaMelo could shoot. He was the youngest nigga on the team. He was like 3, because the team was Lonzo's age. LaMelo was playing 3 years younger. So this was like my 12-year-old. I coached against him a couple times with my 12 and 13-year-old team. LaMelo was like 9 or 10. But the nigga's shot was wet then. So the game plan was like, what they would do is they would rotate the ball to get the ball out to LaMelo. I'm telling you, the nigga was like 9. But the shot was wet every time back then. So I was like, okay, because my team was better. We should have blown them niggas out by like 25, 30. But they was with us the whole game. And then by like halftime, I realized, I was like, okay, they keep doing what they can do to rotate that ball to LaMelo. We keep taking him as if he's just a little ass kid. And all the other kids are kind of slack off on him because he just was young. The game plan was, who's ever guarding that little young fuck, stay with him. Don't leave that nigga. He gonna make the shot. And anytime one of my players rotated off of him and left him, took him out the game, subbed in somebody, I would look down the bench. Who knows what the fuck to do? You look in the kid's eyes and you see which one got the focus. You sub them in there. In a minute, I got the right combination on the court that stayed home on LaMelo. We went ahead and we won. We ended up winning the game by like 10. But that was like at the end. Them niggas was giving us everything. Like, my team was good that year. We should have blew them niggas out by like 30 with that little young nigga on the court. But LaMelo was so good as a 9-year-old playing against 12-year-olds. I knew them niggas would be good. And he was small too. LaMelo wasn't a big 9-year-old. LaMelo was small. LaMelo was small. He didn't hit that growth spurt until what, like 2 years ago? That magnetic person, you don't know shit about basketball. Why are you even talking right now? Why is this motherfucker even? You just come here just to get angry. Some people get in the chat room, I'm mad, send. I'm feeling real angry about everything going on in my life, send. Whatever you saying is wrong because I'm fucked up in my head right now, send. Chill. 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 My man Chubby asked, and speaking of people who was around, y'all, the person that asked that question, Chubby, God forbid me to, Chubby was there on my first night of comedy. Everybody I'm talking about, Big Ja, Craig Smith, to him, all them, Chubby was there. Chubby was a motherfucker we had to go to sign up and put our name down on the comedy list. Chubby was at my first night in comedy. I'm always going to have love for Chubby. Good person. Chubby was there when Ricky Harris, remember Chubby? Remember Ricky Harris's room, the Rhythm Lounge? Brandon Wiley hosted it, but Ricky Harris was always there. Chubby be back there. DJ Count. No one punchline I did not bomb. My first night on stage, I told a true story. A story I'd always told my friends. I was with this chick. And I'm thinking I'm about to get some. I go to unfasten her bra. But I realized she got more than 3. I'm thinking, okay, she got big titties, so it's probably 5 bra straps. Then by the time I get to 17, I realize this bitch in the girdle. But I get to strap number 24, that went boom. Her body came out that girdle like a can of biscuits. She went from looking like a Coke bottle to a stack of tires. That was my first joke. That was my first joke on stage. I'm a natural at this shit. Unfortunately, Taylor, I don't have many heckler stories. I wish I had more. People get on, like, y'all be thinking I'm short. People get up and see me, they don't fuck with me. Plus, I'm funny. I do have one. I remember this one heckler story. Somebody tried to heckle me. I said, nigga, you the second ugliest. I said, you the third ugliest nigga in the world. I said, is somebody, your mama, then you. That nigga was mad. But I don't have too many bomb stories either. I think I bombed less than 5 times ever. And I be giving risks. Look, man, when it comes to comedy, I held myself back a lot because in my energy, I never liked Hollywood. I'm an LA nigga. People gotta understand it's a big difference between LA and Hollywood. I never really fucked with Hollywood. So because I didn't get aggressive with going towards Hollywood, I didn't open myself up to a lot of the opportunities that Hollywood had to offer. I, for the most part, keep my comedy here in the hood. Like Chubby told you, Rhythm Lounge, J Spot, the Family Room. Y'all be hearing all this high-minded shit from me, but the comedy where I've grind my comedy acts has been in the most ghetto hood rooms you've ever seen or heard of in your life. Corey's talked about the family room. Anytime Corey Holcomb talks about doing comedy in LA, he talk about like hood rooms. Corey's brought up the family room many a times. Nigga, that's home to me. That's home to me. Normandy Casino. Yep, you were there, Chubby. Normandy Casino, where they filmed Def Comedy Jam. That's where I grind my acts. People's mama's birthday party. They want to do a comedy night. You in a random hood backyard off Gage. That's where I've been. That's where I've been. And a lot of the motherfuckers y'all see, it's now certain motherfuckers on All Def Digital who, yeah, they just flat out hated on me. Because I did go on like one audition All Def, and I'm not going to mention no names of who was there, but it was niggas I would literally give rides. I would give rides to for like, I ain't talking about 1 or 2 times. I'm talking about 6, 7 months at a time. Niggas that are now famous on All That Digital, yeah. They'll tell you I had an Audi A6, 2007. Chubby, you remember that? Chubby, if I'm capping, let them know. I had a 2007. We talking about 2009, 2000. It's 2010. I had a 2007 Audi A6. Cause I still had a little bit of bread left over from my mortgage days. This is right before I went completely broke. I wasn't living like this. I had the car still. I wasn't living like it no more. But I had a 2007 Audi A6, $59,000 car. And I would pick certain niggas up, take them to the comedy shows. Chubby, you were there. He's my witness. He was there. Never charged niggas gas money. Even though they would say they would give it to me and find ways not to. Them niggas had opportunities at All Def. Didn't pass me shit. The only person that tried to get me in the All Def was Teddy Ray, Kamira, and Craig. And none of them had any power. Matter of fact, they were the most hated on at All Def. But Kamira, Teddy, and Craig, they would pull me into stuff, but they didn't have no power. They were just funny to people. They weren't one of the people running that made the decisions. But there were people who did make decisions that I used to get rides to. There were. And they had decision-making power there. Did they ever call you boy? Did you ever see me on anything? Magnetic Cuban, why are you so angry? You just off. No, it's not Kev on stage. I don't know Kev on stage. No. I met Kev on stage one time. Like some of the All Def dudes had a comedy night at the Mavericks flat. And this is like 2016. That was the one time I met Kev on stage. And that was the first time I met Patrick Cloud too. And I met Patrick one other time. That was at like the family room. I met Kev on stage one time in my life. I don't know that nigga from nowhere. Like I knew literally everybody else at All Def. I would see the Kev on stage dude, but I had no clue about Kev on stage. Like I don't know that dude. So it's not him. It's not Patrick Cloud. I don't know Patrick. But Teddy my nigga. Teddy my nigga. We don't even kick it like that, but every time I see Teddy, it's all love. That nigga Slink called me yesterday morning Slink called me at 10 in the morning. And he was like, nigga, I just want to let you know from the bottom of my heart. Slink was there also beginning at the comedy union. Slink was there too. Chubby, I be forgetting. We had a lot of motherfuckers that was dope in comedy that was there at the comedy union in 2009, 2010. New in the game. Slink was there too. That nigga Slink called me. He's like, man, I just wanted to let you know, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. You know, you gotta give people their flowers when they're living. So I just want to let you know, man, fuck you. You don't, your family's, because Slink met my pops, and they got along real well. Slink was at one of my fight parties, and Slink, see, man, you was actually there for your sons. Talking shit. My dad wasn't there for me. This nigga DeWan think he the shit because he got a good dad. Slink called was like, nigga, I wish. This nigga called to wish more drama in my life. That's how sorry that motherfucker Slink is. So anytime you see Slink Johnson, you think that's a sorry motherfucker, you're right. Slink is easily one of the worst niggas on earth. This nigga literally called me to say I don't have enough drama in my life and that I ain't shit. Nigga called me like 9:30, 10 in the morning just to say that. Fuck you, Slink Johnson. Look, you think I'm lying? Let me see. What time is it? Where is it? Is it in here? Oh, it don't have a time. I was gonna show you. I don't want you motherfuckers being able to see. Nigga number. Nah. Now if I showed y'all shit, if I showed you niggas that, I ain't about to give you niggas that number. I ain't about to give you niggas that number. Let me see here. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, I ain't about to give you niggas. I'm gonna show y'all the timestamp, but it got the number on it. I'm good. What y'all talking about? That nigga literally called me to say, fuck you. That's a sorry ass nigga. Fuck you, Slink. Let me see. What y'all talking about now? I'm about to get up out of here. I keep saying I'm gonna get out of there. And then y'all ask a good question. Cause I think I'm still gonna go live tomorrow morning. Have I met the game? Yeah. My boy Franchise. Franchise, something I'll get to come down to Craig Facts one day. He's always around, comedian. They real cool. I've been around games a tall motherfucker, but like no, his folks ain't my speed. I've seen him at the club a lot. Especially around Term. If you're from LA, you know a nigga named Term. Term, this nigga knows everybody. If you ever been in the LA on the LA club scene, you know who Terminator is. I've seen him around Term. Outside of that, nah. Don't really know much about they ain't really seen much the game or anything like that. Let's see here. What else? Any more questions? Again, I think I might go on live either tomorrow morning or Monday morning. It depends on. I think I still might do tomorrow morning. I think I'm going live tomorrow morning. I want to talk about cliches. And all these dumbass cliches niggas need to drop. I can't stand. One thing I can't stand is a cliche dropping ass nigga. We need to come together and do what, nigga? Last barbecue I came with a nigga that looked like you, 2 fights broke out. Have I met LeBron James? Yes. I met almost every NBA player. Well, any nigga that's been, except any nigga that was played pre 5 years ago, I probably met him. Yeah, I was there when LeBron returned to Cleveland. Remember when LeBron left Cleveland to play for the Heat, and they was mad at him, mad at LeBron. Nigga, I flew to Cleveland to watch that game when LeBron first returned to the Cavs. That shit was fucking great. They was mad as hell. It was a white dude in the stands. Not in the stands, at the gas station. I stopped at the gas station. And the gas attendant asked me my ID because I paid my debit card. And he was like, oh, California. What brings you out here? I was like, I'm here to watch the game tonight. Y'all know. Some white dude said, look here. It's like a trucker. If you see a LeBron James fella, tell him I said go to hell. I will never forget that. Some random white trucker told me to. I guess he thought since I was black, I would just somehow run into LeBron James. I don't know. But that game was great. You know the player I seen the least? Kobe. And that's funny because I'm from LA. I partied in LA. I can get any club, any fucking club I want, especially if you're talking about 2005 to 2014. I can get any goddamn club I wanted to get in front of the line. I knew everybody. And if I didn't know him, I hit up turn. But I never saw Kobe. You never saw this nigga out. Kobe was a fucking mystery here in LA. I went to like 7 or 8 All-Star games. Players Union party, Michael Jordan party, the Sean John party, the ESPN party, the goddamn Patron party, the Jack Daniels party. I saw Kobe like one time at All-Star Game New Orleans. All-Star Game New Orleans. And not just club. I'd be at the best restaurants in LA. I'd be at the best, any kind of social anything where you see anybody. Oscar party. I'd be at the Oscar parties. I'd be at the Grammy party. I'd be at the MTV Award party. Because they won't necessarily, people necessarily be at clubs, but certain parties, certain events, certain people throw things. Pepsi. Usually you see anybody you want to see at a Pepsi launch party. Anytime these different brands throw launch parties, those are the best parties. And some of those is when I'll be at the Playboy Mansion too. Sprite throws a launch party, it may be at the Playboy Mansion. And if you know the right people, you can get up in there. Never saw Kobe at none of this shit. I saw him at the All-Star Game New Orleans. Frankie Beverly and Mage was on stage. This was at the Players Union party. Frankie Beverly and Mage opened up for Snoop Dogg. And while Frankie Beverly was on stage, Kobe walked in, said something in Chinese to Yao Ming. I'm like, did Kobe just say shaka shaka, woo sha wooka, whatever, ching chang wiggity wang? I don't know what the fuck Kobe said. But I saw Kobe say something to Yao Ming in Chinese. And then he walked in and he was there. And wherever he went, I saw Kobe come back 20 minutes later and leave. That's the most I've ever seen Kobe. But I've seen him play live at least 100 times. At least, I've been to at least 150 Kobe games. Staples Center, Great Western Forum, Drew League. I've seen Kobe at least 150 times live. Seen Durant live at least 90 times. Seen Chris Paul, at least 2. I probably seen Chris Paul maybe more than Kobe because I had season tickets to the Clippers. Well, no, I still saw Kobe more. I probably saw Chris Paul 100 times. live. But yeah, no, Kobe, you didn't see this nigga anywhere. Anywhere. Playboy party, ESPN party, didn't matter. Hell no. Yeah, I have hung out with Magic Johnson's son. The older one. The oldest one. Not the fun boy. Was it EJ? No. Not that one. Andre, yeah. Matter of fact, I remember I was at Andre's party when Andre turned 25. It was at the Century Club. It was his birthday party. And Magic came. And we was partying at the Century Club. Magic came. He got on the mic. Now, I want y'all to thank y'all for coming out to my son's party. Now, you young folks, just make sure that you don't do nothing crazy and have a good time. And yeah, just be, have a good time, young folks, but don't get too wild. Make sure you make it home safe tonight. Yeah. I've been around Magic a few times. Magic is a dope human being. Magic threw me a pass and I airball. Played basketball. I used to play basketball at Spectrum Club here in Manhattan Beach. And I was on the corner. And Magic used to come and play. This in 1999. I just had my first knee surgery. I was there in my knee rehab. I just graduated high school. And Magic would come and play. And right when the doctors cleared me to play basketball, I got to play one game with Magic Johnson. That nigga passed me the ball. I'm wide open in the corner. Magic threw that shit, same shit he do. Fake one way, throw it this way. I catch that hole right here. I launched that bitch 2.5 feet short. Air ball like a motherfucker. I was so goddamn nervous. I couldn't blame it on nothing, man. I was nervous. Man. Nigga, Magic threw me a pass. Nigga, no, nigga, I was nervous as hell. That ain't no normal shit. Magic throwing you a pass happened one time in my life. All game. That was the only time I was open. And I fucked it off. Because it was Magic, nigga. I was nervous as hell. Nervous as hell. What you niggas talking about? I appreciate that, Quintez. What's up, Adrian Taylor? Have I met Michael Vick? Nah. Michael Vick was a star. I never met Michael Vick. I never met Michael Vick. I don't really know too many football players. Like I kicked it. I just knew I used to hoop a lot. I knew a lot of, LA got a lot of niggas that made the league. So if you hooped in LA any extent of time, you know a fair amount of dudes that make the NBA. And some of them is your homeboys. You just be around an environment a lot. Never met Michael Vick. Boxers. I don't really know too many boxers. I don't know too many boxers. You don't really see them. Plus, boxers be little than motherfucker. They little midgets. I don't like being around people that's too short. I never met Prince, but I seen the motherfucker perform like 7 or 8 times. I wish I met Prince. Check out my interview with Jarris Mosey. He used to play the guitar Prince. Yeah, I met Gary Payton. Gary Payton used to be at R&B Soul all the time. R&B Live. There's a spot called R&B Live in the late 2000s. Prince would come and perform there sometimes too. Stevie Wonder. It would basically be different people auditioning and sing. And like the LT Hoodies throw the thing as a live band, and different people will come move to LA to do this event because LT Hutton was there, and different record executives all the time looking for singers. Prince would perform, but Gary Payton used to come all the time. This thing, Gary Payton used to sit right there in the front row and play dominoes. Yeah, niggas is singing, looking for a contract, and Gary Payton on the front row playing dominoes, talking shit too. She used to be funny as hell. Never met Rick James. Yeah, I met Russell Westbrook. But I don't know him like that. My man Juice know Russell Westbrook real well. My man Juice, he a comedian. I got him starting in comedy too. He real tight with Russell Westbrook. I don't have no Rick James. So my father-in-law told me a few Rick James stories. My wife's dad, he was a producer from Motown, so he be having all kind of crazy stories. He had a few about Rick James. It's just be funny. Every Rick James story I've ever heard has been funny as hell. But I ain't got no personal stories about Rick James, nope. I don't lie and cap about stories. But I have had a very interesting life. I think I'll be knowing so much about shit. I'll be talking about my experiences. I've had a fuck ton of experiences. Hey, Savage, you used to go to R&B Live? Yep. When it was on Ventura. You know what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know who Orlando Brown is. I don't know who the fuck is Orlando Brown. I know who Orlando Woolridge is. Rest in peace. The nigga used to be a former Laker. Chicago Bull, Orlando Woolridge. I know that nigga. He's a hoop. That first dunk between the legs, that was Orlando Woolridge. Now, Damian Lillard from Oakland. Damian Lillard's Oakland. This Kemp Lab. Damian Lillard's Oakland. Gotta give the Bay Area's credit. They don't put a lot of niggas in the NBA, but when they do, the niggas is great. Gotta get the Bay Area credit. Gary Payton, Jason Kidd. Nigga, that's two of the top 7 point guards of all time right there. Gary Payton and Jason Kidd. Don't buy that hype about Steve Nash being a top 10 point guard. Steve Nash is barely top 15, nigga. After this class of point guards is done, the Chris Paul, Steph Curry class, Steve Nash gonna be out of the top 20, nigga. I said it. Steve Nash benefited from a great D'Antoni system, lightning in a bottle. But what about his first 8 seasons? The nigga got drafted, and they Dallas, nigga, Phoenix had to bring Kevin Johnson out of retirement. This people forget. Steve Nash was in his 4th season. The same year Kobe won a championship in 2000. Go back and look it up. The second round matchup was between the Phoenix Suns. Them niggas had to bring Kevin Johnson out of retirement to help Jason Kidd because they couldn't trust Steve Nash. Meanwhile, Kobe hitting game-winning buckets straight out of high school. Steve Nash was on the bench. And then Steve Nash, when he was in Dallas, go back and look at them 2003 Mavericks. Them niggas that was the best team in the NBA. They had prime Michael Finley, prime Dirk Nowitzki. They had Adrian Griffin, Eddie Griffin. They had that team was 11 deep. They should have won a championship. if Steve Nash was people say he was, Steve Nash was a regular ass fucking point guard. That Mark Cuban didn't even want to pay him $80 million because he thought his back was too bad. And then he goes to that D'Antoni system, which artificially inflates your numbers. Fucking Chris Duhon once had 25 assists in that D'Antoni system. You know Chris Duhon can't get no goddamn 25 assists in a regular system. So he got in that system that hit lightning in a bottle, and people put him in the top 5 now. Fuck Steve Nash. Well, I don't say fuck Steve Nash, he was a baller. Steve Nash was great. I'm not saying he wasn't great. He was still great. The nigga's jump shot was wet. He created floor space. He was smart. He was great. But he wasn't no Gary Payton. He wasn't no Jason Kidd. Calm that down. Do I think Bloods and Crips are forming a super gang? No. Bloods and Crips ain't even as influent. Niggas be overrating that shit. Them niggas is banging. Ain't nobody paying attention to these fucking bangers these days. Times is hard. That's some kid shit. Most of the niggas that's about something ain't even in gangs. Them niggas just shoot your ass just because. These little niggas today are ruthless. They don't need a fucking gang nowadays. Banging shit overrated. Banging shit overrated. It was very real in the 80s, and I was here for it, but nowadays these motherfuckers is different. They don't necessarily need the game to be degenerates. So these kids are a little different. I worked with some of the most active kids out there that as far as disruptive shit. When I was at my last job, and it wasn't none of them niggas in gangs, but them niggas raised some hell though. No, I never met Dennis Rodman. I've seen Dennis Rodman at parties, but I never met him. That nigga trolling if you say he'll take Kyrie over Kobe. I'll listen to that if Kyrie can make it through one fucking season without getting hurt. And Kyrie's my favorite player in the NBA right now. I love Kyrie, but the niggas stay hurt. Nipsey got murdered by a fucking informant that happened to be in his set. FBI always get the people close to you to do it. Well, I won't blame the FBI because I don't know. But these alphabet boys, if they do something, they're gonna make sure they tap somebody close to the person that they're assassinating. I mean, I've seen Allen Iverson a few times. I never like talked to the dude. Never talked to AI, but I remember. Nigga, it's 12:30. I'm about to get the fuck out of here. I'll holler at y'all later.